morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. So some people said that they want me to be more formal and present what we're doing here in the webinar. We'll try to be formal. It's not really my personality, but I'll do the best I can. Okay, let's begin. So good morning, everyone. My name is Leo Reisig, and I will be hosting this webinar today. I'm the founder and owner of Amazing Business Results, a premium Zoho partner operating in Canada, US, Australia, and Europe. In our company, we're doing two services. One is customizing Zoho systems for clients in a white gloves approach, or the other one, we teach business owners how to use their Zoho system. So this is the two things that we're doing. In this session today, so this session, of course, is free. It's open to the public. Anyone can raise questions about Zoho, marketing, sales, business, whatever I can help you with. And I will do the best I can, right? So the goal of this webinar is to answer students, clients, and YouTube subscribers with questions about all those fields. And that's it, really. Formal introduction is done. As for news, let me share my screen. Two things. So first of all, we're going to have some holidays, Jewish holidays in the next few weeks. The way that Jewish holidays works, we just piled everything to 1 month. So basically today we have the session, and the next session will be September 22nd. Now, if you're stuck and you have something urgent, you can contact our company. The company will continue to operate, but those free sessions will not happen until September 22nd, and then we go to the same routine as before. So this is one. Second thing, last week we talked about the mail merge, and when I tried to create a template, I did not see that there are custom modules for some reasons. Maybe there was a bug or something. I assumed that Zoho stopped supporting custom modules, and someone named Amin Ullah, which is a very smart Zoho developer, he contacted me and he said that there is a mistake and custom modules are supported. I checked it again, and Zoho confirmed that there was something small in my system and everything is good. So just so you know, mail merge, you can also have custom modules. It's all good. Hello, Jordan.
Morning. How are you?
How are you, sir?
Doing well.
Before we go to Zoho campaigns, do you have a second to, I think your journey with Zoho is very unique because very fast you ramped up and you're doing crazy things. Do you have any tips for people that starting with Zoho, how to ramp up to where you are with Zoho right now, which pretty fast you control the system?
I would say generally my tips would be don't be afraid to play around, and in general, don't be afraid to play. It's really hard to break things catastrophically. And because Zoho support is so helpful, because people like Lior exist, if you break something, quote unquote, break something, there's always ways to fix it. So, you know, I put a lot of time into playing and getting into the system, trying things out and failing a million times. You actually said the other day, you ate shit so many times so other people wouldn't need to. And I can relate to that. I've tried so many things that just didn't go anywhere, but always having the attitude of, okay, that was one thing, one path that I know I don't need to continue to go down. I'm going to try a different path.
Got it. So it's about trying different solution, play, and use Zoho support, basically.
Yeah, and constantly be focused on what my team needs. I would say that's the other thing. And in terms of how I focused my energy towards specific places, you know, I had my own opinions on where I wanted to go first. Things like getting everyone transitioned to Zoho Mail, getting everyone on board with Zoho WorkDrive, so we could, you know, deprecate Microsoft Office and get people used to the core, I would say, somewhat generic functionality of Zoho, the easy to adopt apps. And then once they were in the Zoho ecosystem, slowly build into the more complicated ones like Zoho Desk, Zoho CRM, and expand beyond that. So once I had my opinion of the sort of the macro level, then when you get into the nitty-gritty details of how do I get them to adopt the tool set and leverage it, and for me to focus my time on where they're going to get the biggest bang of the buck, is just really listening to my team on what their needs are. Making sure I'm asking a lot of questions about what their biggest pain points are, and not necessarily listening to where they point their blame. And I think that's a key point of it, but really digging deeper and asking why they're running into the issues so that I can extrapolate from the conversation what the issue really is, and not necessarily, where they're feeling it, and then figuring out what's the best way in Zoho to solve that.
And when you're getting the feedback from your team, what do you do with it?
Typically, I'm actioning it right away. I do use Zoho Project, and I have sort of a parking lot of things that we want to address. So in terms of having a list outside of Zoho or outside of my head, that's where it sits, that's where it resides in projects. But for the most part, I try and tackle things as immediately as possible. So I actually use Zoho Connect, and I have boards for each of my employees. And so I have a one-on-one board. Each employee has a section which is cordoned off to them. And so during my one-on-ones with them, I'm always asking them, what kind of issues are they facing? And that becomes a task that I'm accountable for them. And so when I'm thinking about a one-on-one with my employees, I'm not always just thinking about what are the things I can assign to them. I'm thinking about what are the things they are assigning to me. And so always having a very service mindset toward my team and thinking about, like, how can I fix things? And then actioning immediately. Don't sit on it for that long unless it's something that requires massive overhaul of systems. But for the most part, once you have things up and running, it's a little tweaks here and there. So, taking a very agile approach of not trying to bake a whole new system, just incremental change.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. If your approach is have a perfect definition of the system and then do it slowly, or quick and dirty, see if it's, you throw it on the wall. If it sticks, great. If not, let's revamp it.
Definitely the latter. Actually, I just drove from LA back to the East Coast. So I had a long time in the car. And one of the things I was doing was just thinking about new things I can do to help my team improve their performance. And one of the ideas I came up with was using click message cards. So every morning when they check in remote work, they get a blast of information based off their title, their department, who their manager is. It'll tell them different things. So if they're an agent in desk, it's going to give them a message. Here's how many open tickets you have. If they're also in CRM and they have leads that are assigned to them, here's how many new leads you have that are untouched or that are touched but are pending follow-up.
Got it. So it's just a click message that is unique for every department or group of people.
Exactly. And so with that, my initial version of this isn't going to have all that information. It's going to be the most basic. Thank you for checking in. You're currently scheduled for this time based off the scheduling within Zoho people. Here's when we expect you to check out, and have a great day. And over time, I'll iterate and say, okay, what are the different things that I want people to look at when they first start their day? How do I start driving that behavior and reinforcing it without me looking over their shoulders constantly? And because I have a remote work situation, I'm not in the same room as my team, so I can't check in person with them. But I also want to make sure that I'm building their work behaviors the way I want. So make sure you're checking your desk tickets, making sure you're checking your new leads. And so that I don't have to big brother them, I'm using the technology to do it. But doing it in an iterative approach where I have a vision of where I want to go, but I'm not going to not deploy it until it's all built out, because that'll take too long. I'd rather get V1 and build onto it.
Yeah, I also think that from my experience, the quick and dirty works much better with CRM systems, versus, let's say, if you build a website, you can't go quick and dirty. You need to have like a good converting website. Otherwise it's not working.
I agree there. And that's a great point to highlight, is that you do have to think about which approach is more appropriate for which situation. And I think when it comes to customers, because the customer acquisition costs to get them to your page is so high, you want to make sure that the experience is perfect. But with employees are way more forgiving. And so if I could give them something that is 50%, that's still significantly better than nothing at all. And because I can have a conversation with them and I pay them, there's more of a willingness to be a part of that journey.
100%. Okay. Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much for your insights and information. I'm sure that lots of people found it very useful. I found it useful anyway.
You're welcome. So the question I have is on my e-com side, I use Klaviyo for email marketing, but our wholesale business, which is growing very rapidly, I don't necessarily want to have them on Klaviyo, and I'm going to start using Zoho as a way to build up our usage of the tools. And really, I'm looking at how do I start automating some of those journeys and building out nurturing campaigns that are very wholesale focused. Okay. And looking at both marketing automation and campaigns, I'm still confused on where Zoho's going with this. And I've had a number of conversations with them. And the sense I get is there are two solutions for two different problems, where marketing automation, the way they sell it is it's all about lead nurturing, where campaigns is about customer retention. And so that makes a lot of sense. But then when I look at the functionality within them, it doesn't always necessarily seem aligned to that. And then what scares me about that is I see that they're deprecating a lot of that functionality out of campaigns. So I don't want to go down the road of building out some automations using the workflows in campaigns, only to see, well, we've decided, leaving Zoho to move that over to marketing automation, and anything that is very event flow focused sits in marketing automation. Anything that's batch send it sits in campaigns. So any insights help me so that you steer me in the right direction from the onset as I go to implement this would be great.
There are two big pieces here. Piece number one, about 6 months ago, Zoho came up with a plan to remove some features from Zoho campaigns. It was a big push. I created the video about it. Partners told their customers about the change. And there was a massive push from the audience. And eventually, Zoho did not do it. Just as an example, for example, if you go to campaigns, you have the SMS campaigns that should be removed, advanced campaigns removed, social campaigns removed, autoresponders, all those autoresponders except of the calendar removed. And the public, the audience did not cooperate with Zoho on that, and they didn't do the change. The main reason behind it is that they wanted to push lots of functionality. For example, sign up, which is like a workflow of emails, a drip campaign, date field. All those are really customer retention and working on leads. And those they wanted to move it to Zoho Marketing Hub, which is the marketing automation. The problem with marketing automation, it's not there yet. When you talk to Zoho partners and you talk to customers that already been using marketing automation, the majority is not having a good solution for marketing automation. It's not crisp. And this is why I'm not really diving into this solution. marketing is one of those things that I need it perfect. It's the same like we talked about the website, that when you're driving traffic, the traffic is way too expensive that I will have 10% of the people not getting what I want them to get. You know, if there need to be a pop-up after 30 seconds, and then there need to be a drip campaign, push to CRM, all that needs to be perfect. If it's 99%, it's not good enough, because the cost per acquisition is so expensive. And I don't think that marketing automation is there yet. I created on the channel, I don't know how many people responded. YouTube, I created a poll and I asked people about it. Let's see if I can access it from here. Anyone knows how can I see the polls? I know I'm creating videos on YouTube, but I don't know much about other things about videos. So if you can help me with that, maybe community. Oh, perfect. So you have 40, which one is it? I need to answer first. Oh, shit. Okay. Anyway, I asked people about the marketing automation, and the majority said that they tried to use marketing automation and it didn't work well for them.
Mm-hmm.
Just by that, I would tell you probably don't want to do it yet.
Yeah, doesn't sound like it. I mean, I don't want to go down the path of implementing a solution that's going to cause me more pain. And from what we have actually started to use campaigns at our other company, and it's been working successfully.
Campaigns is solid.
Yeah.
Campaigns is awesome. And creating the workflows with Zoho campaigns, it's a breeze. It's very, very simple to do. Okay. And you have all the functionality, and you have logic, and it's all, you know, just drag and drop, right?
Yeah, I think the interface is beautiful, and I have played around with it. Again, my fear was building something out only to have them remove it, and then
it will not remove the workflows.
Okay.
The workflows will not be removed. It's funny, the workflows was created in parallel for Zoho to remove the functionality that I discussed before. So the workflow is the future of Zoho campaigns, and they're only adding more and more functionality into it.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be afraid to use it.
Okay. One other thing to your question from earlier that I would recommend of everyone, I would say watch your videos religiously. You know, I spend quite a bit of time researching and just consuming content, and I found your videos extremely helpful. So, you know, based on everyone already being on the call in the first place, they probably watch your videos, but I do strongly recommend just watching your videos religiously, and there's a ton of great content in there. So I appreciate everything you do.
Thank you very much. I can say that when I started my journey with Zoho, there was only the Zoho channel, which of course helped me. But my problem with this channel and other channels is that they are not connecting business problems to the data. So I know how to click on buttons, but I don't know how it can help me with my business. And this is why I created my channel, to try to connect real life business scenarios with functionality. So for me, it's helpful, but you know, I don't know if for others, right? But that's the reason.
Yeah, that's definitely helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Cody is saying, did you see there is now native Zoom integration in Zoho bookings? So there was also before. The problem, it wasn't good. I will show you. Bookings.zoho.com, and maybe it's something new. The previous one, you're supposed to use Zapier, which I didn't see it as a good thing, but let's see, 1 second. Other Zoom, maybe it's in video conferencing, Zoom Connect to Zoom meeting. Oh, nice. Good. So that's a good thing. Lots of people are trying to connect Zoom with Zoho bookings. So thank you, Cody. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So that's for sure something big. If you have Zoom and Zoho bookings, it's a big day because you don't need Zapier anymore. Awesome. Thank you, Cody. Romar has a question. Let me open your mic. Romar, where are you? Okay, your mic is open, Romar.
Hi, Leroy.
Hello, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm well. I'm very glad to talk to you virtually, Leroy.
Same here, my friend. How can I help you?
Yes, my question is just very simple and hope you can answer me directly. This is all about the calendar booking at Zoho CRM.
Which one, sorry?
Zoho CRM calendar booking.
Okay, so you're talking about this section, this calendar?
Yes, calendar
Okay.
booking. So this is the situation. Once we book a schedule at Zoho CRM, if there's a way, I am not sure if there's a way that will also link to the Google Calendar to both selected user at Zoho CRM and to invite or to extend that invitation to a non-user Zoho CRM.
Yeah, no problem. So your question will have few answers. First of all, every user in the system will need to go under Marketplace, and there is a section named Google. You will need to click there, and then on the top, you will need to click on Calendar. So every user in your system that has a Google Calendar will need to go to Marketplace, Google Calendar, and he will need to authenticate his account. Okay, so that's something that is a must. Once you do that, all the meetings that are being booked on Zoho will be synced into the Google Calendar. Okay?
Okay.
This is part number one. Are we good with part number one?
Yes, yes.
Good. Part number two. If you book an appointment, and that's something that most people don't know, if you book an appointment using this calendar, or you book the appointment using the activities, or you book the meeting using any of the modules from the open activities, all of them are the same. All of them goes to the same place, which this is the activities. Now, one more thing that I just want to show everyone, and that's also a feature that people usually don't know that is even existing. When you go to the calendar, on the left side, you can select to see multiple users. In this case, I have only one user, but if you have even 20, you can see all of them in one view on the right side. And that's helping you as a manager see the capacity and what's going on with your team. So just know that this is existing. Now, when you're booking an appointment, let's go back to one of the records. When you book in an appointment, you can have participants, and those participants can be from your contacts or leads, depending where you are in the system, and they don't need to be part of your Zoho company. They can be even external. So you can invite as many people as you want that are not Zoho users.
Okay. So that means all non-user Zoho CRM, I need to put them in the contacts, right?
They need to, if you don't want to put any of them, just type
Okay.
the email here and no problem. So you don't need to add them to your system if you don't want to.
And
No problem.
once I enter the email here, it will also link to the Google Calendar or just a notification email?
So when you put it here, it's already in your Zoho, oh, you mean Zoho Calendar, calendar.zoho.com?
Yes.
This one? But you said you're working with the Google Calendar. Which calendar are you using?
I am on the Zoho Calendar, and then I want to invite also this calendar appointment to a non-user, and it will also link to his or her calendar, Google Calendar.
Yeah, no problem. So when you have an event, same thing, you can have participants and you can just invite them, and that's it. So it's exactly the same thing. And if you want, you can also associate with CRM, for example. I don't know if you have the new view. In the new view, I think I have it in this system. Yes, I do. You have here the calendar on the bottom, and what Zoho tried to do, and it's still in work, and I have a video about it also in the channel. I loaded it last week. What they try to do is to have one calendar for Zoho that is cross-platform for Zoho Connect, for Zoho CRM, you know, all the other systems. Come on, load. And when you are here, you can create an event, same thing, and you can sync it with different, you see, with the CRM, with your task, with notes. You can associate it with different systems. So you're booking it from one place and it's being shared with more.
All right.
Okay. Check it out.
It's really good.
Interesting.
Yes, very interesting. Thank you so much, Leon.
No problem, my friend. Have a good day. Okay. Okay, so next, Nicole has a question. Where are you, Nicole? Nicole. Here you are. Okay, Nicole, your mic is open.
Hey, Leor, how are you? I just had a quick question about the CRM. So I'm trying to import a really big data file. I know the import limit is 30,000 fields per import. So with the file being about 45,000 fields, would I need to split it up into multiple files to get all that data inside, or what's the best way to go about this?
Yeah, there is no way to go about it. Otherwise, just split it to two. Not great, but it is what it is. It's 30,000 is the limit. You can do more complicated things, you know, importing it to a third party that it's pushing slowly to Zoho, but eventually it's easier just to split the list.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Let's see. We don't have more questions. Let me just show you a video that I think that everybody should take action on that. It took me all the weekend. It's like 18, 20 hours. It took me to produce this video. Okay. So this video, it's extremely important. I listed all the reasons and all the ways that you can monetize your emails. So it might be your personal emails and also your mass emails. And it's not only about the email deliverability. That is just one thing, the DKIM and SPF, which I had multiple videos about it. It's how to identify that your email is going to spam, how to configure your email, how to understand what is a deliverability score, lots and lots of stuff, because eventually maybe 5% of our company's revenue is related to problems with emails, and I want to save it. It doesn't make sense that people will pay us so much money to fix their emails. So I just put everything here, and even if your emails are working, you need to see this video. For sure, you can get out something out of it. And we also added some marketing tips for emails. So I recommend you to take a look at this video, free of charge. Good information. Yeah, I think everybody should take action. Meanwhile, while we wait for more questions, maybe I will talk about an interesting system that we created. Let me load here Draw.io. So the problem that we had in the business is that we are working with both, and this is a common scenario from lots of companies. We work both with in-house employees that they are on a monthly paycheck. We work with some employees that they get a paycheck, but also get bonuses. We work also with subcontractors that they are getting paid per job. So the job might be $1,000 and they will get 50% of it. It doesn't really matter. But the idea is that they're getting paid per job. There are two problems here. Problem number one, when we are working with external subcontractors, it's difficult for us to pay them because we can pay them only when we're getting paid. And we need to have some kind of automations around it. So this is a problem that we had to solve. The second problem, which it's not really a big problem, but it is a problem, developers that are internal in the company that should get bonuses for performance, we need to track it as well. So those are the two things that I will show you how we solved today. So we have a system that I already had a video about it in the channel, and the name of this system is company tasks. Basically, when we have a task for a developer, it might be a project or a task, it will be loaded into the company tasks section. And in this section, you will have the details about the job. Whenever this task, whenever the task that the developer is working on is over, there will be few things. So one, it will go to Zoho Books and it will create a bill. So it's a bill payment for me to pay the subcontractor. Okay, so when the task is done, the task will know a few things. The task will know the account, and based on the account, to make it bigger, and based on the account, we know the hourly rate, so it's being pulled automatically. We also know who is the contact or the main contact of the account, and he will get an invoice for this bill. When this bill is being created, my team's supposed to verify that the client received what we owe him, basically the deliverable, that everything is good, and only then request the developer to send us an invoice so we can pay him. So as you see, you have lots of small things, and when you time it, I don't know even how many projects we have a month. You time it to 100, it's becoming complicated. So here, whenever the bill is being created, we created a mechanism that automatically sends the developer a notification to send us an invoice to pay him for this job. So you have the next piece. It's developer notification. And then there will be developer Developer sending the invoice. And of course, after that, it's going to our accounting department that they verify this amount against the bill, and only then there is a payment. So anyway, what we did here, we just took a process that was clunky and painful, and instead of spending about an hour per job, we came to some kind of a process that takes at about 5 minutes. And it's not only about even the time, it's about the mistakes that before then developers supposed to tell us how much time it takes them to do something, and then it goes to an admin, and it's just time and time and time. It's a killer. So it saved us a lot. So that was one of the processes that we created lately, and it's very, very good. One more thing that we did with our opportunities, when we're getting a new opportunity, let me just delete that. And just write me in the chat if you guys think that you want to know about those kind of processes. For me, it's interesting, but I don't know if you guys find it interesting. Just drop me in the chat if yes or no, and be honest, right? I'm here for you. I'm not here because I'm bored. So just write me if this is an interest to you, and I will share with you more stuff that we're doing internally. Okay, very good. Okay, so we'll continue. So people find it useful, so it's useful. One more thing that we created. So we have in our company, we have a very awkward situation. So we have Zoho 1 on the top, or at the top, on the top, one of them. And we have Books USA, so it's company number 1 that we have. We have another Zoho Books account, the Canadian, and the US is serving every country that is not Canada, and the Canadian is serving only Canada. The problem that we have here is that whenever we are processing Canadian deals, it's not only that we need to send an invoice from the books account. We need to send also the correct agreement that is for Canadians, with the jurisdiction is in Ontario, with the correct company name. The Canadian will be Amazing Business Results. The US will be Canadian Amazing Business Results LLC, which is a completely different company, right? Because it's different jurisdiction. So once there is an opportunity, we need to send the information to complete different places. Under Zoho 1, we have Zoho CRM. And with Zoho CRM, you can have only one integration to books account. You cannot have two. And in our case, because the majority of the business goes to the US side, we have the connection, the native connection to USA. But what happens when I need to generate an invoice from CRM to the Canadian side? So this is a problem. Second problem is when I'm closing a deal, the system needs to be smart enough to understand where to send the invoice, the retaining invoice, the request for credit card on file, the correct agreement, and so on. And the system needs to know all that. What we created is in the CRM, in the opportunities modules, we call it opportunities here in this test system, it's called deals. We have here one more field, which is a drop down, and this is the name of the field is books account. And we have here two, Canada and the US. And based on where I want the books account to be, And it's not only based on currency or location. Sometimes people that are Canadians would like to be on the US company because of legal reasons. So we need to be able to select it manually. Manually. So we have here the books account. Once we click on the books account, we can select Canada or the US. And based on that, two things will happen. If this is the US, it's very, very simple because there is a pure integration between CRM and books, and this is taking place. But if it's happening on the Canadian side, we need to have a set of custom functions that they are doing this integration with APIs. Basically, I go from Zoho CRM, I go to the web using APIs. I'm just fooling the system, right? And then I'm injecting to Zoho Books. So I'm just bypassing the system because it's not really possible. And this is what we did here, and it works great. So right now, based on the books account, we're able to send the correct agreements, the correct invoices will be issued, request for credit card on file. The project in Zoho Books will be the correct one. The currency of the clients will be correct. So everything works good based on that. So that also something relatively new that we did. Big save. Also, previously it was manual, going to the correct books account. And everything that is manual, I see it not only as a time killer, it's also the amount of mistakes, because eventually it's all humans. We're all people and we're doing those jobs. You just need one phone call or sales IQ or something that will distract you from what you're doing. And therefore problems happen. The wrong currency. We had one client in the past, and he created a deal with us, and it was, I think, like $2,500 US, and the admin assistant created his invoice with Mexican pesos. So it's like 1,000% discount. And the result is that we paid the developer what it's supposed to get, which was, I think, 50 or 55%, whatever it was, on the deal based on US dollars. We got paid like a buck, something like that, because the pesos was converted. And after a few months, when I went over our accounting, we just saw this mistake, because we serve also clients in Mexico, and we receive pesos as well. So this is something that solves lots and lots of problems and pain.
Hi, Lior, how are you?
Very good, sir. How are you today?
Very good, thank you. I have a quick question.
Sure.
Like, I started using Zoho Documents Creator Sheets, specifically. And I noticed whenever I create a sheet, it's auto-saved to Zoho Docs, which I think it's going to be phased out slowly, instead of Zoho Drive. And I wonder if you can show me how to change that. So it must be a default.
This is how it works right now. You're talking when you are somewhere in the system and you're creating a Zoho sheet, it's automatically creating it on Zoho Docs.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I don't use Docs. So.
Yeah, me too. I know what you're talking about. It's one of those small things that just change it.
Yeah.
But they will change it at some point. Zoho Docs for sure will die, and the WorkDrive will take over. The way that I work, I always have WorkDrive open as one of the tabs. Always. I have books, I have CRM, desk, and WorkDrive. They're always open. I always see them. Okay. And when I need to create me or one of my employees need to create a new sheet, going to the right place, click here and create a sheet or doc. That's it. And this is how we function. So we don't really go and create a sheet from somewhere. It's always from Zoho Work Drive, because I'm very serious about creating assets in the right folders.
Okay.
Right? Because it's very easy to get lost, as you already know, with all those assets.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So there is no way of changing the default place for saving sheets if you open a sheet from not from Drive, but just from directly from a sheet. You just choose a place, choose a folder, and create it right there. Okay.
For now,
Yeah.
I checked with Zoho 1 or 2 months ago about it, because for us also it's a problem. And they, as far as I understood from the answer, it's not there yet, but it will happen eventually. Only Work Drive will be the main application eventually.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do this. Thank you. Talk to you later.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Chantel, where are you, Chantel? Here you are. Okay, Chantel, your mic is open.
Hey, Lior, how you doing?
Very good. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. So my question was just in reference to the mail merge that you mentioned. I mean, we use the mail template function in Zoho CRM, but I was just wondering, was it something different that you had explained?
So the mail merge, the name mail merge, I don't know if that's the right name that Zoho should give it, because it's not really being used most of the time for mail. It's being used to create documents. So it's like a document merge. As an example, let's say that I am creating now a mail merge. And the mail merge that I'm going to create, let's grab deals test. Come on. Good. So let's say that I'm creating some kind of a proposal. And I will select this document. And this document will be my proposal. Whenever you're getting the document, it might be a document that you created yourself, or a document that you loaded like me as a template. You can change the different information. You see, for example, the deal name will come dynamically, and let's say that this document is perfect for me. I will click on proceed. Next, when I'm going to an opportunity, for example, I can click here on the 3 dots. I can go to mail merge, or probably document merge. I will select the right document that I like to merge. Okay, it's loading now. And then when I'm clicking on run merge, I can run or just merge the information, basically the information from the record into the document. Or I can also do it as a signature or sending it as an email. So the email, the mail merge is just one thing that you can do, but you have also other options. And it's very common that people just merging those documents and they use it as PDFs.
Mm-hmm.
And the PDF can be printed, can be sent as fax. We have lots of customers that doing different things with the merge. And this is really the main usage of this merge document ability.
Got it. Okay. So is it's just with Writer, not with like an actual PDF. Okay.
Yes, it's with Zoho Writer, and it's all dynamic, and you can also add the subforms in it. Can do cool things. We did so many projects with the mail merge that are very, very intense. It's a very nice system.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Next question. Let me just mark what I answered already. Mr. Basil, I didn't see you for a long time. Mr. Basil, how are you today?
Good morning, Lior. Can you hear me?
Of course. How are you?
I'm okay. I missed you for a couple of weeks, and I had Carol join last week. But
That's
anyway,
right. That's right. How are you today?
I actually had to do a little work outside of Lior and outside of Zoho. But anyway, I'm glad to be back.
Who needs to work? Come on. People don't need to work. Only fun.
Yeah, this is my fun and my challenge. One thing I have a question, but the one is a comment more than a question. In Zoho Forms, I know I've talked to the guys at in India forever. You know, when you are looking at your forms, there's no way to categorize them. There's no way to have a default view that shows by name. When you go over there, if you go to your right-hand side, if you go to your if you go to your, let me move your, if you go to your right-hand side where the up and down arrows are at to filter them, click on that. And then you click on title underneath. And then you go to the upside down arrow, again to the right side. Okay, there is no way that you can have that view as a default view. You always have to do that, the three motions that you just showed. Because you know what? If when I'm looking at my forms, I want to look at them alphabetically. I don't want to look at them by date. So anyway, I just know, I talk to them and they say, yes, we'll make a suggestion for that. I think it's absolutely silly that you cannot pick your default view that you want to see them. But anyway,
it's they have this thing across the board. So let's say that even if you are on CRM and I am a salesperson and I have here some kind of a view, let's say a Kanban view. In the Kanban view, I don't want to see all my pipelines, only the buy. This is my view. I'm a salesperson dealing with buying properties. I want this view. There is no way to do it as well as a default view. They have it across the board. When you go out of the page and you go back in, you won't be able to retain the information. Right now it's skipping. Maybe they fixed the CRM for that because lots of people were shouting about it. But in general, across the board in Zoho, you don't have a way to do it. Let me just go back. Yeah, you see now it's resetting to all pipelines.
Right.
Yeah. So it's across the board. I don't know why they do it. Even if you don't have the default, I would expect that at least the last sorting that I add will be the default one that I would see.
Right. Anyway, like you say, it is what it is.
Is what it is. Yeah.
Anyway, so the question that I actually had was, well, you know that we deal with people traveling, and we want to calculate how many days they're going to be traveling. So I have the trip end date and I have the trip start date, and I want to derive a number from it. When I go to create the formula, I get, I go in the formula return type and I put date. And when I minus the one from the other, you end up with you use the wrong data in an argument. Check to see if and I haven't been able to get around that. So I don't know if you've dealt with that before, because it doesn't give you a number. The two dates do not give you a number.
What I would do, I don't think, because the date functions will calculate date, but will not give you a mathematical number, like an integer, a number. In Deluge, I know that you love Deluge.
Yes.
Deluge date functions. There is a way
to convert the date to a number.
To get years difference. You're looking for days difference.
How about days
right?
between? It's on third from the bottom. Third from the bottom, days between, right?
Maybe the days between. Finally, take start value and the value argument and return the number of days between the. You see, that's it. So it's one function, and you have here also. We'll send you this link. It will be for everyone. So in the example, you can see how it works. It's being fed the start date, you have the end date, and this function doing the magic, and it's also returning the days. So whatever you have here, this is the number of days that you need to feed back into the CRM.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Okay. It's a little bit taking a sledgehammer to kill a fly, but you know, it's okay. It's good. It works.
It works, right?
Yes. Thank you, Lior.
Awesome.
As usual, you shed your light, you shed your knowledge. We appreciate you.
No problem. Thank you, my friend. Guys,
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much for being with me today. And see you next week. Actually, not next week. See you on the 25th or something. And if you guys don't know, on our website, we have the do-it-yourself. And in the do-it-yourself, we have here everything that we're doing to help you with your Zoho journey. And one of them will be the Q&A. So if you click here, you can get the dates when is the next time. Okay. Guys, thank you very much. Bye-bye.